What's going on, everybody?
Yo, yo, yo.
We got Kevin Roditeli back on the channel. Got
As
some
always,
audio.
I try, dude. And Sparks is my dude, so you're always first on the news, dude.
I appreciate that, man. Wow, yeah. So the big thing we're going to talk about tonight: Whatnot Publishing.
Yeah.
You're one of the three co-founders, four co-founders. I don't
We
even
are four, yeah. We are
four.
four. Actually, we are five. We are five co-founders. There is Jack DeMaio that is part of Whatnot, the app. We
Yeah.
have Michael Calero, Trevor Richardson, Rob Cannon, and me.
Got the whole crew going. I saw the crew growing at the Toronto Fan Expo.
Yeah, we have the Statue people coming up with us, like so Ross
Yeah.
Montage, we have Jay and Dan of the Statue, so it's pretty cool. They're actually gonna run the merchandise side, so it's something really special we wanted to do for every title Whatnot Publishing. Kind of do the reverse. So when we publish something, it will be merchandise directly at the release. So trading cards, action figures, whatever, they will be directly the release. So we don't need like a movie deal or something to have like merchandise. Now we want to provide to fans something more than just a reading experience. I know as a fan, sometimes it's kind of irritating. Like I really love the stories. It's just 4 issues long, but there is nothing after. Like,
Yeah.
so right now, if there is like no movie deal or a video game, whatever, well, there is still the possibility of like having a figure of something you love or just something that's something we want to provide to the fan with Whatnot Publishing that no other publisher can. So that's really our goal with the merchandise team. So super excited to actually bring that on board and add that to what we can provide to creators and readers.
What's interesting is like even like a big indie comic like Something's Killing the Children is just now getting some merchandise directly from the writer. Like he has his shop, he's starting to put stuff there, but like you don't get that directly from many publishers.
Totally. And like that's a big shout out to Ross Montage that actually did put this plan together. Ross is actually the co-founder of Nerdblock. That was like, you remember, Loot Crate. Nerdblock was just the one under Loot Crate that has been bought at some time, and he created another t-shirt company and stuff like that. So he's really successful on the merchandise side. And he did come up to me and Michael and said like, hey, Whatnot Publishing, I believe, is going to be the next big publisher. And I have this idea of actually I want to be with you guys and bring the merchandise directly at release. And of course, we were like, yeah, let's do it. It just makes sense. Like, as a publisher, I think it's a dream to be able to provide that because, like, let's be realistic, for an indie publisher, it doesn't make sense to provide like action figures, t-shirt, whatever, right at the beginning. But when we have someone is really experienced in the field and that say like, let's fucking do it, we say us. And that's a cool thing as well with Whatnot. They bring actually an additional distribution that can make those type of products. It makes sense, with the Whatnot ecosystem to actually do something like that.
Yeah. It's kind of speaking of that. But actually, it's funny because I said something about we were going to be talking tonight on my last selling stream. Someone's like, how are books being published? And it's not like a strictly on the app thing. This is going through Diamond. We've got it's off the launch.
It's really it's a traditional publisher, so we're still going through Diamond. We have a bookstore distribution as well, so like a regular publisher, but we have the app as an add-in and a marketing support. So you still can pre-order our book through Diamond. Of course, because of the Whatnot aspect, we'll have like limited covers through the app, limited stuff, and of course we play with that because that's what Whatnot is known for. But if you're just like a reader and you don't care about the collectors or just like overpriced book, which I totally understand, it's a totally different feel. You can still pre-order the book at $3.99, and that's not a problem. We are there, and as one of the co-founder, and I know all the other people on the publishing side, our first goal is actually to provide good storytelling first and not collector item. So that's the most important thing for us, is to make the book accessible and book for everyone. But of course, if you're a collector and you look like you love like cool ass badass covers. Of course, it's Whatnot. So we are also providing on that side with it's more like Jack DeMaio position to do that. Yeah, he is really working on that aspect of it. But on the editorial side, we really work on bringing the best book as possible on the publishing line, and it's really like a really normal publisher, but we have this marketing aspect and collector side that I guess no other publisher can provide, because we have directly access to the app and the resellers and sellers on it, and we can do crazy thing. And that's a cool thing also on the convention side. Like Whatnot is at a convention, and you do big at a convention with the big booth and all the seller station and stuff like that. So we do have this ability of doing crazy stuff on the cover side, and crazy artists like Kevin Eastman is working with us, David Mack, Rob Liefeld, and we want to continue on that side and bring like crazy cover artists and do crazy drop. That's the Whatnot spirit, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you got David Mack on a cover A.
Yeah, and he is actually doing a cover for every issues of Ninja Funk, and he will be on more series as well, because we love David. David is the boy, and Jim Mafu as well, because I just saw you have a cover. Jim Mafu is the boy. Jim Mafu is doing a cover for every #1 of what I'm publishing right now.
Nice. Yeah, because that's the launch covers, I think they were called.
Yeah, right? The launch cover. So he will be he has a cover for every #1.
Nice. I wanted to pull this up because like
let's go.
This David Mack cover is just whew. And that's a cover A. Like you're talking about, like, of course we're looking at all different sides of the comic hobby. We're looking at reading a good story, collecting cool covers, and like boom, right there. Cool cover, and it's not even one of the limited exclusive types of things that are
open order cover.
Yeah. So let's talk about the launch books.
Yeah, Alphabet is actually an animation series by the same studios that did Rick and Morty. So the animation is all done by Starburns. That was a title bring up by Michael Calero and Trevor Richardson's. So this title is kind of a combination of some TV actors and YouTubers that did come out with an idea of like gamers getting into the world, and that first issue is a mini series of 3 issues. It's really cool, and the pilot actually of the show is free on YouTube. There is already more than 7 million views on YouTube, and they're right now like shopping the series around, and I'm pretty sure it's going to turn into like a full-length TV show. It's really good. The first episode I was like just laughing out loud. It's really great, and is on YouTube right now. Second series in Ninja Funk by GPG and Steve Schutz, and my boy Alex Regal, that's now one of my favorite artists. I won't say we're working on something. We might be working on something on the creative side, me and him, but he is a killer artist, and GPG and Steve did the crazy stories. And that's that's a series with the crazy covers. They have David Mack on it, Kevin Eastman, Boss Logic, Taylor Kirkham as well. So the guys are good all in on the covers, and it's a really cool sci-fi adventure in the vein of Borderlands, which is one of my favorite video games. So I'm all on it. I'm all in on it. The third series is going to be Quested by Michael Calero, Thomas Person, and Kit Wallace. Kit Wallace, you might know him as an artist. He did Good Boy at Source One Quest. But it's a really cool story, like mixing Zelda and Hellboy. So kind of a really cool feel, D&D style. And our fourth book is really freaking amazing to me. It's co-written by Wesley Snipe, The Exile. And Keith and Adam just did a crazy story with Wesley. And the artist, Steve, who is one of the coolest guy I ever met. He was with us in the Comic-Con, and that guy is like a sweet art. I love it. I love him. And it's a really cool, like, soft cyberpunk detective noir story starring Wesley Snipes. So it's just amazing, like, to work with Wesley. To me, like, Wesley, I mean, it's fucking late. So it's amazing to have this guy involved with us on the publishing side. So that's our 4 launch title. And of course, at New York Comic-Con, we gonna announce wave 2 of our titles. So 4 other titles going to be announced in New York Comic-Con. So it's super exciting. So I'm on 4 new titles, and those 4, I'm super proud of it, because I think they're all killer and all great. All the creative team did like crazy job on them, and just like working with Wesley Snipes and just all those crazy artists, just publish your dream, I guess.
Right. So a funny story on Esquivel. Like I came across him from, let's say, the project that he left. I know there was some issues with a project, and it was kind of an Indiegogo project, but I saw him working on the art in that. And I was like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, you got like a really cool like David Finch
yeah,
inspired type of work, or like and Mark Silvestri, for example, like really like 90s super ink work. So it's really interesting to have him on a Wesley Snipes project. It's kind of a 90s heroes as well. So
yeah, well, and so then I saw this hit Kickstarter, and I was like, yes. And then I was like, wait, Wesley Snipes. And I was like, boom, okay. And then you guys are like, we're picking it up, we're taking it into the Diamond and doing awesome.
Yeah, and the amazing thing about it was like supernatural. Like it's just me, I saw that in a Deadline article, like Wesley Snipes is coming to comic book. I was like, oh, that's fucking sick.
Yeah,
what's going on with that? Who's the publisher? So I did find like one name in the article, which was Keith Aaron, one of the co-creator with Wesley Snipes, and I just reached out on Messenger and I was like, hey Keith, do you want to publish it, to release it at Diamond, to release it like in comic book store and in bookstores? And we just started a relationship, and like we totally bound together, and we had like a similar vision, and it did happen. It was super quick, and like just in one was a part match and even, so that the deal was super easy to put together, and everyone was cool to work together. So sometimes like that's always my advice for new creators or new publisher, whatever. Just even for YouTubers or anyone in creative business, I think it's like reach out and don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario is gonna be a no, or just like we're not available, whatever. Thank you for reaching out. Yeah. So just take a chance. Like I just sent like one Messenger DM, and we got a book with Wesley Snipes. Just that's the best example.
And I mean, hey, that got it there. Look, you even got
Wesley. Yeah, we got Wesley on the website like that. Hey, Roach. That book is tactile. Like the video is awesome. It's like Wesley Snipes being Wesley Snipes. It's just like you find weird ways to describe a comic book, which is super funny to me. It's like it's tactile. It's go watch it. Just amazing.
Yeah, I don't want to play it because I'll probably get like copyright stricken or something.
I don't think so. Just like Wesley talking, but it's super freaking funny.
But yeah, everyone go watch that. I have the site linked down below, whatnotpublishing.shop. Down in the description, for everyone to go check it out, pre-order some books, get them from your shop. And the one thing we were talking about before we went on is there's been all these ashcan samplers that have gone out at the different cons since the announcement of Whatnot Publishing. I was lucky enough to grab one from that was Seattle. But anyone wants to check out the books, there's another sampler out there.
Yeah, we did one last one on the website just to be sure that like the maximum people have access to it, because they were super limited and overpriced. But overpriced maybe not that, because like collectors wanted it, so it was going on a secondary market.
Collectors drove up the price.
So yeah, we wanted accessible for everyone. That's why we did one at $20 like that, because as you have seen, they were going for over $100 most of the time. So it's super hard to get. Yeah. And we will have like a surprise we'll announce next week for comic book stores as well. But that's the only way pretty much to get one right now. It's directly on the website at $20. We have half of the print run right now gone. So if you want a copy, you should buy it now.
Yeah.
Because like the crazy thing about this ashcan, there is 4 pages of all the first book. So you have 4 pages of Wesley Snipes. It's technically the first appearance as well. The comics, and like Wesley's already in talk with many major studios for the adaptation. Ninja Funk for 4 pages, and we know just with the diamonds and retailers right now, we have a minimum of 40,000 copies of that book that gonna sell. Acquisted 4 pages, Alpha Betas, I already have like a pilot episode on the internet with more than 7 million views. So I don't want to oversell the thing, but there is so many kind of spec aspect to it. So And the first appearance of Whitey on that cover as well, which is the Whatnot mascot. So
yeah, like when's the story about the Whatnot mascot?
Yeah, and we really want to make a comic book series with that guy because he's so cute and cool.
do a little like mini series.
Totally, I think it's gonna be fun. Like we're all thinking about different thing, and I really want to make him like a multiverse traveler that would just travel through our series. And kind of a stupid little guy that just travel and like fuck the world's over. It's like you do something stupid like just like he is at a war and break the beer with someone on the floor or something, and just start like a World War with that or whatever. You know, I think everyone has a different story, a way to actually use a character, but we all want to have fun with this little guy because he's so cute.
A couple ideas like came to my head there. There was the Deadpool's Secret Wars during the Hickman Secret Wars, where he's like in Secret Wars, but he was never supposed to be there, and so he's kind of just like messing things up. I'm like that kind of reminds me of that. And then are you familiar with Brandon Sanderson? So he's got a character that is in like all of his Cosmere books, and it like planet hops and does all these cool things, like kind of almost looking over the worlds.
Yeah,
like there we go.
No, that's our boy. We've been like when I'm looking at it, I don't know, but you made me think about in the Lucky series. What was the name of the character? The little clock with a smile on Loki.
But the I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it made me think of that. Like I'm like that could be our boy that has like kind of this role, you know.
It like pops up and is overly friendly and
it's kind of weird and creepy at the same time, you know. So
yeah. If you see him pop up, watch out.
There is something wrong.
Oh man. But yeah, so what else have you been up to? It's been we were talking like you hopped in crashed a stream one time last year, and we had you and Rob on last year.
Of course, yeah. No, it's just been a while. You know, we're making book. We have still like with our friends in Sumerian Comics doing Redman right now. We have a new Turbo Kid one shot coming on. We have a one shot of the Until My Bleed as well. Right now writing stories for Sumerian as well. So we're still in super good relationship, and Whatnot Publishing is another thing. So just like been a while. I'm super busy personally, working on a lot of comics at the same time, publishing, writing, creating stuff. I'm doing a new character on stories. Me and Rob, we really want to do more Freak Snow as well. So just super busy, and all the love we've been getting from the Whatnot community and all people like supporting the Whatnot Publishing initiative we're doing right now. Just crazy. Like I was not expecting this kind of love with this launch, but it's just amazing having all the fans of the app and just like the titles we're releasing right now being so actively hype and supportive about our titles. So it's amazing, and it's just overwhelming right now.
I mean, I think that was, I don't know if it was an inevitable thing necessarily that Whatnot went there, but I think they already had the platform built. They already had a community built. And so when you launch a comic company off of that, you got your audience already.
No, totally. And that's something me and Jack DeMaio has been in contact for months before launching and talking about like, you want to do that because Ninja Funk is his title. He was like in contact with GPG, the creator, for a while before. Like I was not involved at first with Ninja Funk because GPG is actually like, he is the biggest seller on the Whatnot app as a retailer. Mm-hmm. So and Jack had asked him like, "What's your dream?" And he said, "I want to be a comic book creator. I have this idea that is Ninja Funk." And Jack was like, let's make it happen." And he did reach out to me to make it happen. And we were in the process. Like at first was like an imprint, and after we were like, we've been talking. It was like, oh, like let's do it. Like we were talking about it. And like, well, Whatnot is, you know, the company that worth $4 billion, so it should be Whatnot Publishing, and not, you know, an imprint, whatever, you know. And actually, and we did come out after to create that Whatnot Publishing with Michael Calero and Trevor Richardson. So it was just like a coming up of ideas, Jack reaching out for an imprint. And after I was like, oh, let's make more sense to actually make it as a publishing company. We're like, yeah, you're right, Kevin. It should be Whatnot at the top. So, and after we did reverse the thing and actually turn it into a publishing company, and here we are. We have our first title right now in the previous catalog. Alpha Beta is number 1, releasing October 12th. And FOC is coming up. So everyone did not pre-order the book, go on it, pre-order. And we have, of course, Alpha Beta is number 2. Ninja Funk number 1 is right now in catalog. And soon, of course, Quested number 1 will follow for December release. And January release is going to be Exile number 1.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, Kit Wallace, the artist on Quested, I love the work. The art on Good Boy
is one of the next big name in the industry. I think it's just makes sense. Like he's doing it after it. He is super quick as well. Like if we talk about like a business standpoint, a publisher standpoint, he is someone that delivers books, and that's something publishers really is looking for, because you can be the best artist in the world, but if you produce one book every three year, for example,
right,
it's hard to make blow up someone that can do an issue every 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
But someone like Key that can produce an issue a month, for example, it's someone that can really find a spot in this industry, especially that he has like this great skill of sequential and way of telling stories. He is really good to tell stories and bring the script to life. So he is one of my bet. Like if we were like betting on we're gonna blow up, Keith Wallace is definitely one of my boys.
Yeah. I mean, just thinking, I'm like, there's Good Boy, there's the
everything he did with
his own Mr. Easta.
Of course, like that's Scout. Like
he's all over the place. Like he's like, I'm in this publishing, this one, books out everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's a matter of time that we're gonna see his first series at Marvel and DC. I'm pretty sure, just because that guy is knocking book out.
Yeah, and I would say, if I had to compare it to a style, not that it needs to be compared because it's awesome on its own, but
Scotty Young.
I feel like Scotty Young, right? And Scotty Young's blown.
I know where you were going, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and if you look at tying it back to like the Whatnot app, if you look there, people buying Scotty Young books like crazy.
Of course. Scotty's one of the greats.
Yeah. So Kit Wallace has got to be up there coming next.
Totally, and Keith has this way of telling stories that is just fantastic and really quick. Like if we talk about a creative standpoint, he delivered pages, and that's something creators, publishers looking for. You can be the best storytellers, but if you take time, the problem with American comic book, and not a problem at the same time, because we want comics. I want 800 comics per week, but all the business model of American comics, but all the American comics model is done. Is you need to deliver comics as quick as possible because the machine is rolling so fast. And Keith is someone that can produce comic at that rhythm, which is art for an artist, which is art actually for a human being, as even for writers.
Yeah.
And he has the skill, so that guy gonna blow up and take over the industry, I'm sure, is a talent for sure.
Absolutely. So you talked a little bit about you were talking with Jack, and so was it kind of that situation where you got the DM and you were like, oh, this is a cool idea, let's work on this?
So Jack did reach out to me. We started talking about like the imprint of like Whatnot Publishing coming over and like do comic with Whatnot logos and stuff like that. And at some point, we just like understood that made more sense actually to Whatnot Publishing being his own publisher, just because, like, well, let's be honest, it's a tech company with over $4 billion valuation, so it doesn't make sense that Kevin Roditeli is at the top of this thing. I don't have this. I'm maybe a little bit pretentious, but not as pretentious than that. So what Michael Lille wrote with, which was starting his own publishing brand, which was massive at that time. Just making sense actually to go over and say like, hey, why not starting Whatnot Publishing, which just makes sense, and then we did move over into like the Whatnot Publishing with Jack DeMaio. His title, the book from at the beginning was Ninja Funk, and after we kind of fused the catalog we had and Michael had, and Now modern publishing is in the previous catalog.
One thing I noticed, like on launch with being in Diamond, was you guys had like a 2-page spread, 3,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
no,
that.
totally. We
Like,
have 8 pages already. Yeah.
yeah. So how did, I guess, your experience help you guys navigate the Diamond side of things?
No, for sure. The experience, and we have Trevor Richardson in the team that has been working. It did work at Diamond for 10 years, so you know the crew, and I think that before, like, without talking for them, but I think that the Diamond team totally understood the power of the Whatnot app, which thank you to them, and well, they were right. Totally understood like the power of the app and what it could bring to previews as like having Whatnot publishing as one of the main um, publisher in the catalog, and they totally believe in us. They gave us this cool spot in the catalog and really like go all in with us, which we thank them for being all in, just believing in the products and the book we have coming up. So that's what it is. It's not we did not do like some weird Chris Angel magic on it. Just like Diamond did believe in the product, did believe in the publishing company, did believe in the people behind, thanks to them. And we're moving forward with them just because we think is the right partner for that. They're so cool with us so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we were saying, with people behind Whatnot having that experience, they know it's something that's going to be able
totally, and it's such like a weird and different business model as well. Like when we are talking to Diamonds, like yes, we gonna sell our product to you, but think about it, like there will be like a lot of sellers and stuff like that on the app that will actually buy the product from you. So you're gonna do double sales and they're gonna resell and stuff like that, or even the Whatnot app gonna actually create more sales for Diamond because like the Diamond seller is going to go through the catalog and will order other publishers as well. So it's actually bringing more sales to every publisher is having Whatnot publishing working with them, because it's going to bring sellers that were just like, I guess, second party sellers, just like people buying from back catalog in comic book shop, like just like
bring more
previous
people
release
in.
or whatever and reselling on the app. But now they need to go through every previous catalog and order stuff for Whatnot publishing. And while you go through the previous catalog and you know it as a fan, like me, for example, you never just buy one thing. You will be like, oh, Boom got this cool thing. Image Comic got this cool thing. And now you're like, fuck, I'm broke. and that will be the same. That will be the same for everyone.
I still got to read all this from this week.
I know. Well, I got that on my desk right now, so I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Plus, I got some other stuff in the mail. Plus, there's like multiple shelves of trades and hardcovers that are.
I love your shelf, by the way. It's fucking cool. It's look great.
It's been expanding. I've got my wall is shrinking, but I'm doing different things.
Yeah, and you got a beautiful Paranormal 8-man there, right there, dude. This shit gonna worth money, dude.
Yeah,
good pick.
Signed by Brett.
I love it. Brett is such a cool guy.
Oh yeah, he's been on twice now. We were talking about
nice.
The I can't think of the name. Kingdom Come something.
Kingdom Come, yeah.
Just Come Deliverance. There we go.
I did pick up the issues. I can't wait to read them. Like the game was so cool. I know Brad is such a good writer, so I can wait. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in New York as well, New York Comic Con. So I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah. One day I'll get to go to New York. One day.
Let's go.
This year's not the year, but if I plan enough, next year.
I feel you. No, it's so expensive to travel around and do all the cons. Like right now, I'm like, oh, I should start selling drug to pay my cons travel. I think that's a plan.
Start selling comics on Whatnot.
well, comics is drug to an extent, I think. So it makes sense.
It is drugs.
I love that you say it is drug with the background you have right now. Like, yeah, it's drug.
It's drug. These are all the books I've read recently that haven't been bagged and boarded. I
love it.
Yeah. But I mean, drug dealing is selling comics. There you go.
Let's go.
But I mean that's kind of for me. Kind of looking at stuff, I'm a reader first, and then if books that I have pop off, and maybe I go get the trade, I'll go sell the story and make some money off of it to buy more comics. It's kind of a never-ending cycle there. So I appreciate that, Whatnot Publishing is coming in this, not just on the side of let's get these flashy covers out and, do that, but we've got awesome stories out here to check out.
Yeah, that's really not our goal. Like for me, like even when me and Michael, I know that was our first thing when we did partner with Whatnot. It's like we're not selling covers, we're selling stories. And if you want to sell covers of our story, we're all in, because like if you, I know Whatnot has the infrastructure for that, the ecosystem to do it. So that's great. It's actually more copies going out of those great stories, but let us sell the stories. And that's all we did in everything about this deal is just like being sure that we have the story out and his stories actually can live up, because like it's cool to sell like great covers, but if it's a bad book, it's going to be great covers on the number 1 and not on number 3, number 4, whatever, it's not something that will stand. And even like as a reader, it's like for you, if like a publisher is going like bad titles after bad titles, but they got great cover, at some point you will just like, fuck it, I want to try the next one, just because the stories are bad. It's just bad covers hiding like a bad story with bad sequential, for example. So that's something for us really important, to bring the best stories with the best sequentials, and that the covers are not lying. Yes, we will always have like those great artists doing covers and variant covers for us, but we want the interior to be as great as the covers. That's something important for us.
I feel like it takes you out of the story too much when you are looking at a cover. Let's say it's like Kevin Eastman on the cover, and you open it up and you got stick figures on the inside, and the story is disjointed and the lettering's all off. It's just like, what did I just pick up? But I mean, I flipped through this. I read the first couple pages that are in for each story, and all of them, like the starts are great.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, so you guys have been picking up some good stories. I can't wait to see the announcements at New York Comic Con. What the next wave of stories is going to be. You said you're working on some of your own things. Are you able to say anything about any of them yet?
Not yet, because we are super early in the process, and I wish I was more advanced in the process of those. But just like I've been super busy with the launch of this, and as well like with Sumerian, I'm working on some license for them. Like it's gonna be some rad book, but I can't announce it for them. I wish I could, but
I know there's some big announcements coming from them, and
probably it's gonna be at New York. I need to talk with Nate like when we announce this thing, but it's gonna be great. Like the stories we're building right now, and just with the license we have, it's just insane. I'm super proud, and I thank them for being working on those book. It's amazing, and but on my own, my creator own stuff, I can't talk about it because it's too early. And I already said too much, saying that I'm probably working with Ninja Funk artists. So,
no one's gonna hear that now.
Yeah, no, for sure, no. But well, when we say working, it could just be a cover. It doesn't mean he is doing the interior. So. Yeah, but yeah, just like it's too early. It's true that I want to bring back Freak Snow at some point. I want to do this story that I'm kind of teasing right now. We have like all those stuff with Sumerian, and it's gonna be insane. And I think they want to announce it in New York, but I don't want to speak too much because that's their announcement. But yeah, I'm still super busy behind the scene, but I don't think there will be anything out before like the beginning of 2023. I took a little break of creating stuff just because we weren't launching this, but of course I'm coming back full steam with creation, because that's my first love, and I want to create as long as I'm alive. So
that's what got you into all this.
No, for sure. So it's important, and it's just like always, like I'm always super grateful when people come to me and say like, oh yeah, I fucking love your writing and shit. So super motivating, and I can wait to go back into it, because there's I guess people asking for it, and I have fun doing it. So
well, I remember when we talked about Freak Snow before, you were talking about that you kind of had a plan for a potential third volume.
Yeah, there's four stories in the world of Freak Snow. I'm sure I want to tell that is make one big thing that will be like a compendium of like maybe 350 to 400 pages. So I really want to finish that kind of big story that all puzzle together and have like this big fat motherfucking book.
Get one of those nice
But
cover
I
omnibus.
have more stories to tell, but at least I want this thing to be done. And if I feel like Freak Snow is done after that, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be like a fat book complete. And I will feel personally like I think 2 stories we have out right now feel right as standalone on their own.
Yeah.
But I know that if I can complete the thing and make like one big thing, it's just gonna be, to me, like good sci-fi post-apocalyptic stories that just feel right and unique to me as a fan of the jar. If I think as a reader and a fan, I will just be like, oh, that fucking fat thing is amazing as a fan of sci-fi and post-apocalyptic stories. But I think as their own right now is this work, but I would love to feel to complete the story. And if fans and myself, I feel that I need to tell more. Gonna be other stories that are not part of this fat book, but set in the world. But I have more world that I want to explore as well as a creator for sure.
Nice. It is always cool when you built the world, and now you can play that world.
Yeah, dude. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to build a world because you create a creator, you create a character, you create the world, you create what's the meaning of that. Like for me, it's not a character, it's not what's going on. What's the meaning? What this story mean to you? Like I think there is no good stories that can be created without having a meaning. What's the reason for you to create it? Like what's your emotional state when you create this story? Like why you need to create it? You know?
Yeah.
Because creating or writing to me as a human being is a way to communicate expression or communicate feelings that you are not able to share otherwise. Like for me, I'm not someone that really shares feeling. Like I'm not, even with my girlfriend, I'm not someone who will share really my feelings and all I feel. And story is a way to communicate them. Like all my characters, all my writing is where I kind of express myself emotionally in my feelings through the stories. So it's important for me to write, and I needed to express myself. But I think that's something missing sometimes from comic, because comic, and it's not a fault of creators. It's just like comic is such a commission world where because there is little money to do with comics. So if you want to be a full-time creator, you need to produce. So it's kind of art second and money first most of the time. And and that's why I think that, without trashing creators, because I'm not the best at it. No, I'm not the best creator or best writer ever. But but I just mean, like, if we compare it to like the indie filmmaking scene, it's not all stories that matter in the comic book world because of that. And that's not a problem it's not a problem like critter wise. It's a problem because of the industry, of all the industries built. It's like, it's not creators don't have stories, that they need to tell stories to survive. And that's the problem that I wish, and I know it's impossible as a publisher, that I wish I could fix and find a way for creators to be to live well enough to have the time to tell the stories that you really need to tell, and not just that they need to tell stories for money. And that's something in a utopia, I guess, that I would love to fix and find a way to just like, hey, you have 6 months, here's $50,000, just do like one book or two a year, and tell the stories that you need to tell, that you in your soul is asking you to tell. And I think that the quality of comics will probably double or triple, but it's impossible. It's impossible.
One thing I think I'm curious about is the quality of stories that it's going to come out of, like the Substack deals that were done.
Yeah.
Like I feel like with that, some of those writers were able to take a second and just say, I can create what I want now.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's gonna help. All those Substack or the Patreon aspect and stuff like that does help, because it gives more freedom and free time to creators to make the stories that they really want to do. And there is like no editorial pressure. There is no page rate licenses that kind of pressure them to tell a story. But that's few creators, and that's few creators that already as the fan base in some way. It's not like new voices coming in and that they feel that it has a need to tell something. It's something unique and new because it's a new voice. When you're a new voice, I think you have something unique to bring to the table. But Substack or Patreon is not. Yes, it's gonna give the chance to voices that's been around for like 20 years or 10 years that already have like a big fan base.
Hopefully,
But
at
of
least
course,
those.
it does help, but doesn't solve the problem, I think.
Not at all.
But that's in the topic problem. It's not even a
Yeah.
problem. Like, I think comic book creation is at a good place for sure right now.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, maybe they normally get to tell that one emotional story, and then they're like, I gotta write. I don't have time to sit and
Yeah,
think about
no,
the
for sure.
emotions
It's
behind
really
these
first level.
stories.
Yeah,
They
it's
just gotta
really
go.
first level. Most of the comic book stuff is first level because you don't have time. You need to produce something with deadlines, and you don't have your time to immerse yourself, and you don't feel comfortable enough to immerse yourself into the characters and the stories, which is where great storytelling happen. Like why we have like one Taxi Driver from Martin Scorsese, why we have one Clockwork Orange from Kubrick, why we have like those little masterpieces from directors like whatever. I can go over many directors, many films and stuff like that. Why those moments happen in his stories? Because they had the time, and they had full emotional connection with the creation, and they were done at the time that they needed to do it to just
Yeah.
stay alive. Sometimes like creating for creators that had the need to create, um that moment it's important for them to just be happy and alive, and that's something we don't have time in comics, I think. But make it interesting as well, because like comics is such like a pressure industry for creators. Like, you need to produce to live from it. So at the same time, it does create something interesting, that there is a quantity of stories that will not be possible in filmmaking or just music, for example, whatever. So you see a way more storytelling from creators you love that will be impossible with movies. Like a
Yeah.
director, for example, if he does like 10 movies in his career, it's a lot. It's already a lot, and that will be over 30 years. But in 30 years, comic book creators can do like 300 issues, or more.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing about comics. You can see a lot from creators and probably learn more about them than actually you will see ever from a filmmaker. So that's the cool thing about it, I think.
Yeah. Never even like thought about like the comparison between the writing and art and comics versus like how much a director can do on the movie side. It's interesting to kind of think, because then even thinking about how much is coming out of comics and going into movies, there's clearly a funnel there where it can't only so much can come out because the directors can't do anymore.
Yeah, and it's not just the actor. It's also like the funding, building the
Yeah.
team, all the actors and stuff like that. There is so many people and element in the process of making a movie. And comic books, like for example, me, if I write a script tomorrow, I can get an artist that will produce it like in 1 month, 2 months. After I have a colorist, maybe for 2 weeks, and the letterer, and like in the span of 3 months, we have a full book produced, and it could be out in store like 3 months after, for example. So in the movie, it's impossible to do that. We are talking of years and not months, So that's the big difference too.
So what do you see? I guess next coming from Whatnot Publishing, not necessarily the books that you guys are announcing, of course, but where do you want to see the publishing company go?
It's interesting because it's moving so freaking fast, dude. Even me, I don't know. I actually really don't fucking know where this thing is gonna go, because it's moving so fast, and it's really interesting. Because of that, like the fans are super supportive. The sales numbers, like the early, the first order cut of Alpha Beta is really positive. So it's looked great on the retailer side, on the fans or the app users, of course.
Yeah.
And we have now this new deal with merchandise. We already have like Ninja Funk trading cards that are out.
Yeah.
And in New York Comic Con, we'll show the first prototype figures of Ninja Funk. So we'll have the two main characters in prototype at New York Comic Con. And after, we have like those statues and action figures line up. And of course, apparel like t-shirts and stuff like that are coming up. So with that deal, is ever more exciting. We have some licenses coming up. We have more. We have some big top tier creators coming up with their creating own stories. The Whatnot Polishing. So it's crazy because I wake up and there is always a new thing. Like what the fuck, this guy want to work with us? This license is gonna come with us. So it's really interesting. And the whatnot, I guess the whatnot aspect make it so interesting and make it so bullet train type of business that it's scary, but at the same time it's beautiful because it's like kind of I guess a dream of any creative or publishers to be on a train like that. So I just feel grateful to be part of that.
That's awesome. And yeah, it's just like I've never seen, like you said, the numbers are already looking great, but I've never seen a publisher go from 1 minute not being in the book to the next minute having those numbers. So that's, I mean, that says something to the audience that was already out there on the app coming in.
Yeah, I know for sure. I think it's kind of I don't want to say it's a first because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's kind of first even for Diamond, and that's why they were directly giving us 8 pages. Just like we are a new publisher, but it's not new because there is a app with over 1 million users and over like 100,000 followers on Instagram and stuff like that are pushing the publishing branding behind. And we have some top tier creator like directly off the bat with David Mack, Kevin Eastman, Boss Logic, and all those guys at Taylor Kirkham, and I can go on that are supporting the brand. So normally, like a new publisher, there will be no big creators like that. Like Kevin Eastman is a freaking legion, it's like the biggest indie creator of all time, pretty much.
Right.
So it's I don't think there is a precedent to that. So for anyone at distributor level, publisher side like us, or readers, I don't think it's been done before at that level, for a new company like that jumping in. So no one knows what to expect from us.
I feel like Image is probably the only other time like a bunch of known.
Yeah, it feels really weird because it's always a comparison to come on. Like for example, like one of our first interview was actually with Comic Tom. Shout out to Comic Tom. And that's what he said. Like, I feel it's the new Image comic in front of me, and we were like, that's maybe a little bit intense. I'm just like Kevin fucking Roditeli and Michael Calero. We're not like Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee. I'm sorry,
but I think if you look at the comparator, not necessarily for you guys, but I mean, even though you guys are awesome, looking at the books and the creators on the covers and the creators involved in some way are kind of comparable in that aspect.
No, for sure. For sure. I do understand, just like me trying to be humble, but humble.
But no, being humble and not going for it.
No, but it's not only that, I mean, the timing is different. The era that we're in is totally different. And
I don't know. I think we're back in the 90s again.
No. I mean, I'm the guy that will say like when I'm on fucking hype and fucking 15 Red Bull, I was like, we're bringing the 90s again, but I don't think it's possible. It's not it's not possible, but it's definitely like something I want to do, and I know the team want to do, like to bring some sort of the 90s era vibe again, with Whatnot Publishing, of course. But
but Tamagotchis are back, so
Tamagotchis are freaking back. So like let's bring Paulie back in trading cards with comics,
Yeah,
that's something we want to do, of course, with a trading card collection we're doing right now. So there is plenty of stuff like that. Super exciting that we are doing right now, and that I'm excited to bring back. And we're all like, the cool thing about Whatnot Publishing, I will say, is like we're all comic book fans that are making comics for fans, and like we're all nostalgic guy. Like even me, I'm just 25, and I think the same thing for you. You're super young as well. We are part of a generation that are kind of nostalgic of stuff that they did not live with, like I'm a fan of shit from the 90s and the 80s, but I was not really there. I was not there actually. And I think that's kind of the thing of our generation. We're like, oh, a Walkman, that's so freaking cool.
Hey, I had one.
I have one as well, but I never use it. Just like, that's cool. But that's the thing too. So we're kind of a weird era that actually everyone is nostalgic of stuff that they miss, or just that they never own, or just that we're not there for it. So I think that's a cool timing that we were in, and that we are having fun with it and Whatnot Publishing right now, and we want to bring stuff from the future as well, and do new innovative stuff that never been done in comics. So combining the past and the future to make a greater comic book industry. That's feel Like I was like, I'm not pretentious, but now I feel pretentious to saying that. And we just want to find a way to combine all those ideas to kind of create a utopic comic book industry that we would dream of. Of course, I don't think we can totally fulfill that. I will be super pretentious to say that, just like thinking that we can change the world. But if we can contribute to a better space, we will do our best.
Kind of the all the nostalgia talk. I was looking at this
Let's
over on
go.
the screen, and I was like, I mean, all right, we got Pokemon here. We
Yeah,
got
that's
90s McFarlane, Spider-Man.
yeah.
We've got the Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Like, you're hitting the nostalgia right here.
Yeah, we see it directly that we're all super nostalgic guy with those covers.
Like, what if we put this on the cover? I'm thinking about these things right now.
No, for sure. And we are all, we are all a big fan. We are all nostalgic guy behind. And I think that the one key element of like all the founders, we are all creators first. Like Michael started as a creator, Trevor started as a creator, I started as a creator, Rob started as a creator. Yeah. Jack has been around the industry forever as a creator and supportive guy in the industry. So we are all people that come from the creator side, and I want to make a space for creators that actually, it's a publishing company for creators by creators. That's all we want to fill, and we want to fulfill creators on stuff that other publisher will say no because it's too complicated, that we can actually do because we have this whatnot aspect. Like if a creator want to release a new cover 3 months after the release, well, we can because we have the crowd and we have the user app, we have the convention that we are doing at whatnot. That makes sense to release a new cover. So we don't want, for creators and readers as well, or collectors, like a series is not dead 2 weeks after the release. We really want to keep series alive. If creators want to do an exhibition somewhere, we will print and we will do something with it. That's something important for us. And like you said, like the McFarlane homage for it. Of course, McFarlane is a big inspiration for it. All the image team is all the big inspiration. Like Rob Liefeld, for example, is doing a lot of stuff with whatnot. Just like super grateful to work to have Rob part of the whatnot family and do stuff in the same field. Just amazing to me. Like I feel awesome.
It just coming back to the kind of the image comparison there is there, you're saying for creators by creators. I felt like that was kind of their feeling when they started things off there too. So, you may not accept the comparison yet, but
I there. I do accept it. I accept the comparison. Just feel weird. It still feels weird a little bit. I'm not someone with an imposter syndrome or something like that. I'm not that kind of guy.
I guess
just like it's feel amazing. It's I feel actually it's different. Like I understand the comparison, but I think we are such a different era, a different time.
With
the internet, the app
thing,
and whatnot. It's like such a different business model. It's totally different, and I don't think we were at the same place in the industry than those guys at that time.
Yeah,
but I do understand when people say that. I'm like, oh, that's freaking cool to just be compared with them. Like, it's the biggest compliment you can say to anyone in the comic book industry. But yeah, just amazing to be there. Just amazing to have the app support, to have all those fan and collectors to be ready to support our books and believing in it. That's amazing. When you start something like directly the first titles that you have like 10,000 copies pre-order before the FOC, it's just incredible. So
yeah, I mean, they all, and you guys are starting out strong. These all look like really cool stories. Alpha Betas, Ninja Funk, Quested, Exiled. I mean, like I said before, I already put support behind the Exiled in a different form, so I'm gonna pick it up in single issue form too, because it looks like a cool story and the art on it looks incredible.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other things you want to bring up about Whatnot Publishing or anything else you got coming up?
I wish I could talk about everything we have coming up.
Well, so you're going to be with Whatnot Publishing at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, and definitely gonna jump by the Summer in Comics book as comic book as well. So I'm gonna travel between both. And
their
I fun
official.
all weekend with both team, you know, just because I have a blast working with both. And it's just a fun journey right now in comic book field and making cool books, of course. And then New York, we on the Whatnot Publishing Drive, we're gonna have like a lot of announcement for sure. Just super exciting. It's just super exciting. And right now, FOC coming up for Alpha Beta's #1, Alpha Beta #2 in its previous catalog, and we have Ninja Funk #1 previous catalog, and that title gonna be huge. Like just looking at numbers right now, it's freaking insane. It's insane that we're gonna start with such a big hit.
Any cons planned after New York Comic Con, or is that kind of all you got right now coming
we're
up?
gonna take a little break. We're gonna be probably at LA Comic Con in November, I think,
Okay.
and after we're gonna start again probably around March with MegaCon, Toronto Comic Con, and stuff like that.
Nobody ever wants to come to New Orleans.
When is the con?
We got New Orleans Fan Expo in January.
Oh shit! Well, we are friend with Fan Expo, so I gotta talk with the team and maybe come by. It will be amazing.
Down and we'll hang out.
Hell yeah! We need to make you to get you stream on Whatnot at the con directly at the booth. That will be amazing, dude.
That'd be fun. Also,
let me check this out.
You gotta check out New Orleans. Come on.
dude, and I'm such like a big music guy, and New Orleans is such, it's one of the biggest fucking music city in the world. So
the jazz fest that they do,
insane. When is it? I will just like come for travel for that.
This last year it was in May. I don't know if that's the same time it's gonna be because COVID threw dates off, but Jazz Fest, like they have like big names headlining. So like I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers play, but then like all day long you're listening to like all the jazz bands
that's so cool, so dude. Talented. That's so cool. No, I gotta check this out. Like next year, I want to be there just for the festival. I'm such like a big jazz blues guy, so I will love to see that.
Absolutely. But thanks for coming on. I know you're welcome anytime. Come hang out, talk comics.
Dude, I love it.
Whatever.
I love it. So anytime, let's have fun.
I know. I get so behind on like setting things up that I'm like. That's what I was like. I need to talk to you again and find out what's been going on.
Anytime, brother, man.
Yeah, awesome. Where can people find you and Whatnot Publishing to follow along with what's going on?
Of course, Kevin Roditeli on all platforms and Whatnot Publishing everywhere on the wild web.
I got links to all that down below as well.
Awesome, thank you, brother.
So thanks everyone watching and. Have a nice night.
Have a nice day. Thank you.